After lots of struggling, I finally managed to pair up two cobalt blue angelfish. I am beyond excited, and here's what I've learned so far. Let's talk about what happened. So here you see some eggs that my angelfish actually laid in the last 12 hours, and I am so excited. I initially started out with 5 angelfish. 3 of them eventually ended up dying because I believe they had a disease from the pet store that I actually got them from, which I won't mention here, but it's a pet store in Toronto. And the one that you see picking at the eggs right now that just ate an unfertilized egg was one of the fish that's ended up surviving, together with another one. I've mentioned this in my previous angelfish video as well, in which I unpacked some new aquarium plants. And I believe that the one that you see right now by the eggs, the closest to the eggs, was a male. The reason why I believe that is after a lot of research that I've done, I came to the conclusion that females are less dominant than males in general, even though they're cichlids. And I believed that the 2 angelfish that ended up surviving out of the 5 angelfish I bought were both males. So I ended up buying a female, so to speak, which didn't end up being a female. But I ended up buying another fish on the 23rd of May that I thought was a female. Just by the looks of the physical appearance, I could tell it was a different gender. I knew it wasn't the same gender that I had. And that's the one that just appeared into the screen that is now picking at the eggs, slightly bigger. And I bought that fish from Big Al's for $40. And I paired that fish up with the other fish, the other angelfish that I currently have. But the other fish that I have was way too dominant for the new fish. So I ended up pulling out the bully, and I ended up pairing up these 2 fish. The one you see picking at the eggs right now, and the one that just swam into the screen. That is a little bit bigger, that has a redder, like a more red eye. And it turns out, once I paired up these 2 angelfish that you see in the screen right now, it turned out that the one that is picking at the eggs right now that I bought, that came in much later, is actually the male. The ones that I had, the 2 angelfish that I had, I believed to be male. But once the breeding tubes came out, I discovered that the ones that I actually had were females. And the dominant fish that was picking everyone apart was a female. Even the new male that I bought was not able to handle the female that I had. So she is in a separate tank right now, and she is up for sale. And these 2, oh my god, I'm so excited, actually ended up pairing up. So this is the female that you see right now picking at the eggs. She is slightly smaller, and I believe that she was a male. After inspecting their breeding tubes and after doing a lot of research, because I'm completely new to angelfish, other than the fact that I had them as a kid and was never successful at keeping them alive, this is my first rodeo in terms of pairing up angelfish. So the one on the screen right now is the female. She's slightly smaller. She is the mascot of the YouTube channel, and I would like to give her a name, but I haven't come up with a name yet. So if you would like to contribute to brainstorming in terms of ideas of what I should call her, please comment down below. She is a gorgeous angelfish. She is a cobalt blue zebra angelfish, or a Pinoy blue Philippine angelfish. Super smooth scales, as you can see. Beautiful blue glow. Has some orange in the eyes. Oh, she's so gorgeous. And I can confidently say that she is a female because of the breeding tube once I saw them breeding. And she seems to be a very good parent. I've never had angelfish, so apologies if what I'm saying is completely wrong, but based on all the videos that I've seen about angelfish parenting, she seems to be a really good parent. And then the male that just swam into the screen seems to be kind of like, kind of defending the parameter, so to speak. He's really keeping an eye on me, and the reason why I bought him is because he is just a gorgeous fish, even though I thought he was a she. But I ended up with a pair anyways, so they seem to be really good parents based on the research that I've done, the articles that I've read. They seem to be very attentive to the eggs. They're trying to pick out the eggs that are not fertilized right now, which are the bright white ones. So this is the first time for these angelfish pairing up, and they've been in a 30-gallon tank all by themselves. The only thing that is in this tank is some ram's horn snails and some Malaysian trumpet snails here and there that I always pick out as soon as I see them, because I don't want them to infest my tank. And that's it. So they don't have any outside threads. They definitely know that I'm the one that's feeding them. If anyone else walks into my fish room, I always kind of like walk into my fish room carefully because I don't want to startle the fish. But if anyone else walks in, they often get startled because they're like, what the heck? Because they don't walk into the room as carefully as I do. So they really seem to recognize me, which is, that's one of the things that I love about cichlids. They know who the person is that feeds them, so they're more intelligent than, let's say, like guppies or, tetras, for example. And I have been having so much fun just observing their behavior ever since they laid these eggs. When I took this video, while I'm recording this, the eggs are a little over 16 hours old, and some of the eggs are turning beige. Anyways, I just wanted to put a clip in here of like feeding them as well, just get a little bit more action than them guarding the eggs. They're very good feeders. They, like I said, they recognize that I feed them, and I feed them dried food at the moment, but I'm going to switch to brine shrimp soon, because now that they have eggs, they will need, more energy. It would be a good idea for me to switch to live food altogether, and I want to switch them to brine shrimp. So that's what I'm going to get into basically the day after this video is shot. That's the female that you see on top, and the male is on the bottom. The male has a fin that is black with a really distinctive black and blue pattern on the top fin, and the female is a little bit smaller and doesn't have fins that are, or scales that are as shiny. The reason why is because the male that is on the top right now is a mixture with cobalt blue zebra platinum. That's the reason why his scales are a little bit more visible and why he's a little bit more sparkly, so to speak. And it's such a gorgeous fish. I'm so happy that I bought him. And then the female has is a little bit more smooth, that swims on the left right now. And she is just a regular cobalt blue zebra angelfish and doesn't have any platinum in it. So you can definitely tell the difference between the scales, and I think that they will make absolutely gorgeous babies. I know that usually, especially a pair that just paired up, because, they've only paired up in the last 1.5 weeks or so, they're usually not successful with raising their baby fry. There are numerous ways of how you can raise the baby fry. A lot of people do it themselves, but I prefer to just let them do their thing and allow them to do it in a natural way, even though they might fail for the first 4 to 5 times, which is completely normal. If they end up eating the fry, or they end up not taking care of the fry properly, they might end up dying. But that's nature to me. I just want them to do this naturally, and I just want them to become good parents. So I'm just going to let them do their thing, trust that they will take care of it, and figure it out. However, it is a good idea to keep up their energy because they have to take care of the eggs, as you can see here. So I decided to film a close-up of the eggs for you. And as you can see is that some of them are really, really white. That's what the female is picking out right now. And she has her breeding tube out, as you can see in between her back fin and her frontal fins. So like a little triangle. And the male has a breeding tube that is more of like an actual tube. So yeah, she has been picking at the eggs because she's trying to remove the eggs that aren't fertilized at the moment, which are the white ones. But if you look closely at this shot, you can also see a lot of eggs that kind of look like a see-through beige brown color. And the beige brown eggs are actually the ones that are fertilized, as you can see here with the circle. They're kind of spread out in between the white eggs everywhere, from left to right and top to bottom. And the fertilized eggs have the potential to actually hatch. So, you know, sometimes with angelfish it can happen that 2 females actually end up pairing up, and you end up with all white eggs. White eggs means that they're not fertilized, so it could be the water quality. It could be because there is not enough oxygen in the water. It could be because the water just is dirty. It could be because the parents are inexperienced. It could be the temperature. It could be a numerous amount of things. It could be that the water is too hard and not soft enough. Honestly, it could be so many things as to why the eggs don't hatch. I just consider myself very, very lucky that I ended up with about 187 fertilized eggs. I actually took a still shot and I ended up counting them, putting dots on the ones that were fertilized. They laid about 300 eggs. I know that it doesn't look like it, but that's the amount that they actually laid. And 187 seem to be fertilized, and 96% of the fertilized eggs will survive once they actually they spawn, or the fish come out after about 60 to 75 hours. In the first 5 days they will eat the eggshell, and then after 5 days you will have to start feeding them. That's the platinum male, by the way, that you see right now, the new fish. Oh god, he's so gorgeous. Then after they start to free swim, after about 5 to 6 days, it could take a little bit longer, about 87% will survive. So we will see how this goes, because this is their very first spawn. They only just paired up, so I'm not keeping up my hopes that, or I'm not keeping my hopes up, said it reversed, that this will go successfully. But regardless, I will keep you in the loop as to how this is going. Like I said, once I filmed this, when I started filming this video, the eggs were laid about 16 hours ago, and you can see the ones that are fertilized at the moment. And the parents seem to be very attentive. They seem to be really on top of their eggs and protecting their eggs, even though there's nothing in the tank, nothing else in the tank that could threaten them. There is no other fish, nothing else, no shrimp even. So I will keep you up to date as to how this is going. If you have any suggestions for me down below as to what I could do better, please let me know down below. This is a very low-tech tank. It has a hang on the back filter, and I'm going to tie up the filter soon with some sponge filters so that the babies won't get sucked in. I'm going to be feeding them brine shrimp after 5 days because I know that has the most protein. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.